The top stories. The EU launches a 3-year program to provide sustainable support to IDPs and host communities. And the U.S. ambassador says Washington considers Ethiopia's reinstatement to the AGOA trade benefits. Greetings, dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the news with me, Shifara Olako, and do stay with us. Now, Foreign Minister Demeke Mekonnen says meticulous diplomacy has guided Ethiopia for 116 years with little or no hiccups. And its foreign policy, which is inextricably linked with its national security, has brought tangible results to protect its interests. During a quiet, revealing interview with the Ethiopian press agency in connection with the Diplomacy Week, Mekonnen stated that the event is of paramount importance to draw lessons from past diplomacy to today's and tomorrow's engagements. In its 116 years existence, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been spearheading Ethiopia's national interest, and the Diplomacy Week is instrumental to uphold results that have been gained and address the shortcomings. He further emphasized the need to review past diplomatic engagements and draw the positive experiences that would help to formulate a viable approach in today's dynamic and mostly unpredictable and technology-enabled diplomatic era. The State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Misgan Warga, met today with Hannah Tit, UN Special Envoy to the Horn of Africa. The discussion between the two sides covered issues ranging from the African Continental Free Trade Area, CFTA, and current affairs, bilateral and multilateral issues of common concern, as well as issues of regional peace and security. The State Minister said the Ethiopian government is committed to regional economic integration and doing well with Djibouti, Kenya, Sudan, South Sudan, and other countries in different sectors. He underlined that the Ethiopian government considers economic integration a key enabler of regional peace and stability. The discussion between the two sides covered the current affairs of Sudan and regional peace and security issues. Moving on, the Joint Council of Ethiopian Political Parties affirmed full support to the MOU Ethiopia signed with Somaliland to secure access to sea. During its General Assembly held on Wednesday, the Joint Council deliberated on the details of the MOU Ethiopia signed with Somaliland and opportunities and threats related to the agreement. After the discussion, the member parties of the Joint Council unanimously supported the historic agreement. The Council further called on the government, political parties, and the general public at large to contribute their part to the realization of the agreement.
Welcome to Athens. One of the things you can actually get close to here in Athens. It's not roped off. Amazing. Hour on the hour, with the larger ceremony taking place on Sundays at 10 a.m.
One cool fact, it is the only stadium in the world made completely out of marble. Very fitting for Athens. Everything here is made out of marble. Absolutely beautiful. We found this little gem just outside of Athens. It's a great little escape that's on the beach. It's on the Athens Riviera, and it's about 30 minutes outside of the city. We got breakfast and dinner included with our room, sea view, and this gorgeous.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC World. Now, the European Union, EU, and its partners launched a 3-year program to provide sustainable support to displaced persons and their host communities in the Ethiopian states of Afar, Amhara, Benishangul Gumuz, and Tigray. Coordinated by the International Organization for Migration and jointly implemented with the GIZ, the 43.5 million euro program aims to improve the living conditions of IDPs and host communities affected by conflict and natural disasters. Goshumaliso reports.
The European Union and its partners have launched a 3-year program to provide sustainable support to displaced persons and their host communities in Ethiopian region of Afar, Benishangul Gumuz, and Tigray. The EU and its partners have signed a 3-year program worth 2.5 billion to provide sustainable support in Ethiopia. During the signing ceremony, EU delegation to Ethiopia, Roland Kobia, said the 3-year project will benefit directly people in need.
This program will benefit directly to populations. It will go to populations in need through an integrated approach which aims to provide water, sanitation, health services, livelihood, employment opportunities, protection, social cohesion, amongst others, but also gender-based violence prevention, access to community-based mental health and psychological support services, along with capacity-building measures.
The Danish Red Cross regional head remarked that International Red Cross Society is dedicated to build resilient community in Ethiopia.
This trust is not just earned, it's cultivated through years of dedicated service, understanding the unique needs of the Ethiopian people, and being a reliable partner in times of crisis. ERGS is uniquely positioned to facilitate dialogue and promote understanding and contribute to the goal of creating socially coherent and resilient communities. At the heart of the Red Cross are dedicated volunteers who are members of the communities they serve. The Red Cross fundamental principles of volunteerism is not just about providing help to those in need. It's about building social network that binds communities together, creating resilience and cohesion in the face of shared challenges.
The UNHCR officer in charge pointed out that the project signed by the European Union and its partners is very timely.
The project is extremely timely. It could not have come at a better time in supporting the ongoing efforts of the Ethiopian government, the regional and local authorities, and the progress made towards the stability and recovery in the northern regions and Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia through reconstruction, rehabilitation of infrastructures, but most importantly from our point of view, the provision of protection services.
International Organization for Migration called upon the actors to further strengthen collaboration in realizing the need for targeted community.
I call upon the European Union implementing agencies of this program and the government of Ethiopia to further strengthen our collaboration in realizing and addressing the needs of our targeted communities. Together, let us strive to support vulnerable displaced people and their host community in building a better, sustainable, satisfied future.
The program is coordinated by International Organization for Migration IOM and jointly implemented with GIZ, the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, the Danish and Ethiopian Red Cross, and the UNHCR ATB Learned.
Thank you, Ambassador.
And moving on, U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia has expressed Washington's commitment to pressing ahead with collaborative efforts aimed at fostering peace, prosperity and development for both nations. Ethiopia-U.S. ties, he said, have deepened over the years with a series of bilateral and multilateral initiatives. EBC's recently inaugurated new facility at the Shogole area in Gulele subsidy, Ambassador Irvin Masinga disclosed that Washington is reconsidering the reinstatement of Ethiopia to the AGOA trade benefits with a view to giving new impetus to the diplomatic ties that go back to the early 1900s. Shagamato brings us up to speed.
The diplomatic relations between Ethiopia and the United States of America, which have been flourishing over the years across the spectrum of cooperation, have hit exactly 120 years. The two countries share a long-standing and important partnership based on mutual interests in promoting peace, stability and economic development. Talking to ABC English, U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia, Ervin Masinga, said the deep-rooted people-to-people as well as government-to-government ties between the two countries shore up to sustain such a long-time relationship.
As I travel around the country and I meet university presidents and engage in exchanges with Ethiopian academic institutions, I become more and more aware of the long-standing deep ties between American academia and Ethiopian academia, which has paid such dividends in education, creating a cadre of wonderfully trained and educated people who are propelling Ethiopia's economy forward.
Wow.
And of course, the diplomatic ties have been very, very important.
Exactly.
Over very wide range of eras and times and situations. Governments here, governments in the United States, etc. But the trend line remains strong, and it is my job and my duty and my honor to keep those trends moving in the positive direction.
The ambassador also indicated that the U.S. is reconsidering to reinstate Ethiopia to AGOA to further strengthen the bilateral ties between the two countries.
The United States government is always reassessing, always looking at the possibility and the conditions that would allow us to restore Ethiopia's eligibility for AGOA. We all know of the very positive, powerful growth story that was part of AGOA and Ethiopia prior to the decision that our government had to make at the end of 2022 to go in a different direction. It would be my honor and my great pleasure for us to be able to go back to those times. It's not possible right now, but we're always looking for the opportunity, always trying to assess whether or not the conditions will allow for that to be the case.
Masinga appreciated the people of Ethiopia and Ethiopian leaders for playing their role for the cessation of hostilities in Ethiopia to benefit its people.
Well, the viewers, you have been watching ABC World. Now a quick recap of the top stories. EU launches a 3-year program to provide sustainable support to IDPs and host communities. And U.S. ambassador says Washington considers Ethiopia's reinstatement to the AGOA trade benefits. And with that, we come to the end of today's news. Thank you for watching us. Bye-bye.